This is so exciting. New experiences. Hi, loves. Welcome. I felt very called to share some messages today for anyone who feels called to listen and to receive. I have some beautiful decks that I brought with me to Atlanta and some instruments that I feel called to share too. So if you are here, thank you so much for joining, for clicking play, for listening, and just for being in your body right now, being present right here with me. I am truly grateful for you. And this YouTube journey is something that I have failed before. I mean, I tried it and I failed at it, or at least failure is what my ego likes to think it is, because it didn't achieve a certain type of goal or success or expectation. However, I know that it is part of the journey and it is all part of the path to the success for me, and also whatever it is that you're going through, the success that you're going through. And every time that we move through something that is quote unquote a failure, it is a chance for us to learn and to really grow from and learn lessons from it, so that we can expand and really move forward with growing and blossoming in new ways, and ways that we never thought that we could grow and blossom in before. So I just wanted to start off with a little grounding exercise with the singing bowl real quick, well, the Tibetan bowl. And really just allow ourselves to ground into our body before we receive these messages. And I don't know if I'm going to post this afterwards. I'm just really going with the flow and really allowing my intuition to flow through. And so if you are not already in a comfortable position, go ahead and plant your feet on the ground, both of your feet on the ground, and or you can lay down. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths together and allow ourselves to center into our body, into our heart, and into our beautiful, most expansive self. And so if it is safe for you to do so, go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale through the nose, expanding the belly. And exhale out the mouth. Really taking the time to observe your body as you take another deep inhale through the nose. Noticing your heart space. And exhale out the mouth. And as you take another deep inhale, allow yourself to set an intention for yourself. Holding this intention into your heart space. Just noticing your face, relaxing your jaw. Relaxing your shoulders as you hold into this breath. And your intention as you exhale out the mouth. Allowing yourself to be connected with your body, heart, mind, and soul through this experience together. Knowing that these messages are here for you in your highest and best intention. And also trusting that when we are here showing up for ourselves, being open to receive messages, being open to receive love, being open to receive. It is part of life and the balance of giving and receiving. And so let's just hop in, see what soul journey lessons are here for us to be reminded of at this time, because really these are all reminders. We're all here to remember who we are, to really tap into our gifts, into our creations, and our ways that we express ourselves through the heart and with joy, and with allowing ourselves to express ourselves authentically with joy from our heart space. then we also empower others to share authentically and with joy and from the heart space as well. So, ooh, regret. Yeah, this is just reminding you that everything that happened in the past, there's nothing you can change. We can only allow ourselves to reflect and observe the past and really take that as a moment to move forward and to change and shift and transform and really unlearn any patterns that we may not have liked that we did in the past, or any experiences in the past that we would not like to repeat. This is really just reminding that regret doesn't change that. What really changes that and really allows you to transform and alchemize the past in something that you may not have liked in the past is to just really go through acceptance. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, but just accepting that the past is the past and asking yourself, what can you do right now in this very moment to shift and change that trajectory so that the past doesn't happen again if you don't want it to happen again. And really allowing yourself to go internally and allowing yourself to go within and shift that energy, because we are what we attract, and allowing ourselves to be centered in ourselves and observant, not judgmental, allowing ourselves to just be observant with how we act and how we are and how we've acted in the past and what we've experienced in the past. That awareness is really how we can step forward and to shift and transform and to continue to expand and really just be grateful for all the things that we have done and experienced that have led us to where we are today. Just really being grateful. As this card of gratitude reminds us that I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents, and all of the opportunities that you have experienced, whether we label them as good or bad or traumatic, they're all meant for you to experience so that you can be more wise and just really allow yourself to be in a moment of gratitude and just really being more present in your body and really being more present in how you move through life. Allowing yourself to be grateful is such a beautiful practice, and being grateful for the opportunities and the moments that we have regretted or we don't really like is the hardest challenge. And so with the greatest challenge comes the greatest rewards, and really allowing yourself to face anything that we have been avoiding or really regretting or really judging. That's when we are being challenged to express gratitude and express thanks so that we can move forward and really allow ourselves to live in a moment that recognizes that all that we've experienced is how you've been shaped to be how we are today. And so, grief. Is this upside down? Oh, these are all upside down. Grief. Grief has been a big topic that has been coming up a lot lately. The topic of loss. And this card says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And so I know with many of us, grief can come in many forms. You know, it could be a loss of a person, it could be a separation from a person, it could be losing a home or losing like an experience that we're so used to doing. Like we've just been so habitually doing it, and then once that's gone, that's when it really opens up our eyes and is like, whoa, okay, something's really shaking me up now, because now I have to go through this experience of grief and understanding that losing something is how we can really take ourselves out of the situation and appreciating it more, and going back to the gratitude, just being grateful for making space, because when we quote unquote lose something, although I believe that we don't really lose anything because we're all connected, and really allowing yourself to be grateful for what we've lost allows us to also be grateful for what we're bringing in, and what we're allowing to bring in, so that we can raise our vibrations and just allow ourselves to attract more of what we do want to attract in our life. And that goes back to the regret, just knowing that we can't change the past. Um, and so, what can we do now to really allow ourselves to create this present moment of what we want to create and what we really want to experience from a place of joy, from a place of love, and from a place of authenticity? And just knowing that when we use our intuition, this this card is so funny because I always get this. Indecision says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. And for me, also learning to balance that intuition. Sometimes intuition can be difficult to, at least in my experience, when I'm not practicing it, I'm not using it as a constant muscle. Sometimes I get it confused with excitedness, or we can think that our ego is, or our ego is intuition, or our intuition can be ego. For me, I've recognized that intuition is very graceful, and it's very peaceful and very nurturing. And so when you get these thoughts of judgment, or any really constricting energy, that is a sign that it's not your intuition that's coming through. um, or when there's a message that's coming in, that constantly keeps coming in, but it's very gentle and loving, um, I invite you to just observe it and see how you feel when this thought comes up. Sometimes my intuition comes in and my ego is like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But after I step away from it, and step back, and I go, oh, okay, I feel like this is coming up because this is part of my next step of my healing journey. Like, an example was when my intuition told me that I was going to move back to my mom's house, and my ego was like, no, I moved out for a reason. And once I stepped away from that and recognized that, wait, I this is an intuitive hit telling me to move back in because I needed to do some family healing, because I needed to face my family who I was avoiding, and not really allowing myself to face that part of myself, that anger that I really shoved into myself because of my family and my upbringing. Because I had a lot of personally, I had a lot of childhood trauma. I don't remember much of my childhood, and so I've noticed that many people who I interact with, they don't really remember much of their childhood either, and that's okay. This, whatever it is that you're experiencing, or what your perspective is what you experience and what is valid for you. And I encourage people to just explore, and to practice that intuitive muscle, and just see how you feel and notice how you feel when these messages come up. And it gets easier to notice the more you practice it, and the more you have the intention of making decisions from your intuition. And I just was burping a little bit. So for anyone here, maybe working on your throat chakra and really communicating, really practicing on communicating from a place of neutrality, really practicing responding instead of reacting, and giving yourself that time. If you do notice yourself, getting triggered or reacting, just taking that time to step away, and being in a space where you can go internal and just kind of take a few deep breaths, and allowing yourself to recenter yourself, and then coming back into the situation, if you choose to come into the situation, to communicate and talk about it with the person that may have triggered you, or caused you to have a reaction. Because sometimes we can have that choice. We can have that choice to not go back and to not communicate. And sometimes the other person or the other situation isn't in a space to have a very healthy, neutral conversation, to really listen to you and for you to listen to them, and really try to understand each other. So really taking that time to practice communicating from a heart space, and with compassion and with love, and releasing any of those blockages. And also, if if you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I did also release a new sound bath to open up your heart and throat. And so, if that's something that's resonating with you, I would love to invite you to go experience that. It's 20 minutes long, and share your experience of how that is for you. If you did resonate with the message of, you know, really clearing and communicating and opening up your throat at this time. And ooh, we got the crow. The crow keeps coming up so much. It's so mysterious. It says universal laws and truths, throat chakras, are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. So yeah, it's all tying back to what I shared earlier. It's just you have the choice to create how you want to experience life at this time, knowing that we can't change the past. We can only choose where we are right now in this present moment. And these truths that are being revealed, they can stir up some uncomfortable emotions and some things in the past that may cause you to feel uncomfortable. So, again, really taking that moment to go within, taking that time to center yourself before responding. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to be in that space of where you can just go within, and I totally understand that. Sometimes I'm like out and suddenly I get anxiety attack and I'm like, okay, whoa, how do I gotta like recenter myself. So if that ever happens to you too, literally excusing yourself to the bathroom or going to the bathroom or just going to a spot where you can be by yourself and taking those deep breaths or center yourself, and then choose whether or not that you want to communicate or respond moving forward. And let me know if this is all resonating or if you have any questions. If it's not resonating, maybe this message isn't for you. That's totally okay. I appreciate each and every one of you who are on here right now and just allowing yourself to be open to receive, because there's a lot of change going on. And with this change, there's a lot of uncomfortability. There's a lot of tower moments crumbling. If you're familiar with tarot, the tower moment is when everything is literally crumbling down and it's shaking and it's hard and it's just a mess. But the mess and quote unquote mess, the destruction and the falling of the tower is representative of the change and the new foundation. Because as like the crow says, use this energy to create your reality. So what you break down, what are you going to create from what has been broken down? Like, are you going to sulk about it and regret and be like, oh, it broke down, okay? Or are you going to say, your perspective of, oh, everything broke down, okay, cool, how can I create from this moving forward? And when that you come into that space, abundance comes. And when you really shift that perspective of going from regret to how can I make this from my past a learning lesson so I can shift my reality and move forward to create abundance and joy and love and life and just really allowing yourself to create, because we're all creative beings. No matter if it's through art, if it's through dance and movement, or if it's through music, just allowing yourself to create and create the reality that you want to create, because even that is creation. It's just creating the life that you want to live. And that's why this channel is called Create with Ro. Well, it's called Create with Ro because I love collaborating and creating with people. Because for me, in my human design, I'm really here to create with multiple people, and I feel like that's why I was very strongly pulled to the film industry. It's just so many people coming together to make one project come into life, and that's why I love the NFT space too. There's so many beautiful projects and so many people who are coming together to make an impact in the world through art, through creation, and also really bridging, the analytical tech side of things. So it's really cool to have been in the space for about a year now, and to have met so many beautiful people to co-create with and to experience life with. Ooh, domestic harmony. Interesting. So there's a message here about your home life. You could be shifting into like a new home, or thinking about rearranging your home, or like thinking about your space, and just allowing yourself to create a space, a safe space for yourself, so that you can have that harmony within. Because the home, physical home, I mean, I noticed I say the home is in the body, and it's wherever you go is home. However, we all live in home. Well, we all live in homes, and have a place to go to. If we do have a place to go to, I know some people don't have the ability to do that, which is why it's so important to be grateful for where you are, and having a place to sleep, and to just have a place to put your head on and rest at night. And so this either could be, like I said, you could be moving, you could be thinking about rearranging your space, clearing up that space, coming back into grief. I know sometimes it's hard for us to let go of things in our room, in our space, because there's that energy attached to it. But once we really lose it and let go of it, and then we can really appreciate it more, and let go of that energy too, to make space for new and new abundant opportunities. Yeah, environment, spirituality, just really allowing yourself to observe your environment too, whether that's your home environment, your social environment, allowing yourself to just take note of what you surround yourself with, even on the internet, like your digital social media environment. What is it filled with? Is it filled with inspiring, uplifting, like things that can help you grow, or is it filled with um, content that is just not really helping your growth? Because with the growing amount of content on social media, it can be overwhelming. And every time you connect with something that you watch, or something that you are listening to, it's a reflection of where you are today, and how you're living your life, and what you want to create for yourself. And so for me, actually, my my environment was filled with listening to tarot and oracle readings for like hours on end. And I was like, maybe I'm meant to create this, and maybe I'm meant to watch these and to share these um, types of readings, um, so that this can be another way to help someone, like, listen to messages they need to hear for their next step in their growth, or like as a confirmation. So um, I've watched many tarot readers and many oracle readers, and I also feel like that was to help me, give me confidence to remember that I can do this too, and just really allowing myself to not regret that I've spent hours on end listening to tarot and oracle readings, but to create my reality, to shift it and say, I watched all those because I needed to at the time, and I also learned a lot, and it gave me confidence to be where I am now on this live with you. And so tapping into your spiritual growth too. Um, there's this phenomena of toxic positivity, and so just really also being mindful of if the people around you are being authentic and are speaking their truth, and are really sharing all parts of themselves, rather than just the highlight reel. And there's nothing wrong with just sharing the highlight reel. But for me personally, on this channel, I have the intention to share my authentic self on all parts of spirituality. So it's the light and the dark. I go through some SHIT too. I was actually, before this, going through a really rough time of like, what am I doing with my life? I was just laying in bed, well, technically the floor, because I don't have a bed right now. But really allowing yourself to notice the types of people that you gravitate to in the spirituality field, and just knowing that also everyone is unique, and how they share their messages is it's just them being that channel. And sometimes the ego can interfere with that, and that's okay because we're human and we all have egos. Even me, my ego comes up a lot. Mostly in forms of overthinking and worrying and fear. So just really noticing that and observing that, and really coming to acceptance that that is a part of you and there's nothing wrong with that. And again, just everything that you experience is totally valid. And the reason why I'm doing this is to help share some messages for you to also help you be more gentle and kind with yourself through this process of change. Since we did get the change card earlier. Also, oh, spiritual career. Some of you may be healers. Some of you may be healing with your art. I mean, that's what I'm here to do, just heal with my art and inspire other people to step into their artistry and step into their role as an artist or a healer or both. Because when we allow ourselves to tap into that, um, or break free from that limiting belief that we got to have, you know, a 9 to 5 to live, but to really step into something that's more fulfilling for your job and for your career, then that's when that abundance will flow through. And it might take some time, it might happen sooner than you think. It's just allowing yourself to live from that place of joy and live from that place of doing it for yourself and loving yourself, loving the process, not forcing anything, and just really allowing yourself to be in the moment and present and in the flow. If anyone here has watched the movie Soul, I love that movie so much. I watched it again on the way to Atlanta. But essentially, it's finding that spark of what brings you joy. And when you find that spark, also just going with it, flowing with it, and getting into that flow state. And then also sharing that. Because when we allow ourselves to share ourselves in the flow state, we also inspire others to be in the flow state too, or at least have other people enjoy us being in the flow state, and to just radiate that energy outwards from when we start within and just let it go out. And so, does anyone have a question, or if they want to have anything being pulled, I will feel called to move into playing a few instruments and to share a brief sound channeled light language. It's crazy that 27 minutes have already passed. It doesn't feel like it. Time is an illusion. And we are really here to shift that quantumly. And when we create, also, it is timeless. And that's a big lesson that I learned this year. I think one of my friends, one of my friends on Twitter said, oh yeah, Gangnam Style was created 10 years ago. I was like, 10 years ago? It does not feel like 10 years ago that Gangnam Style was released. So just remembering that too, that when you create and when you share it with the world, even though, it was created, maybe you created it last month, 2022, that energy that was created during that time is timeless, and transcends time and space. And so, speaking of music, if nobody has any questions, then I will move into a brief sound channeled light language to close out today's live. This is the very first live that I did, so yay! We did it! And I was gonna go on IG, and I realized that YouTube had let YouTube live too, so I'm doing that, and I'm feeling like wanting to do that more. We'll see what happens, but YouTube is definitely a place that I want to keep sharing and growing and providing value and ways for you to experience. Thank you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to always see the beautiful friends and just beautiful souls who are in my life and who connect from all around the world. So I love you and I appreciate you. So if you go ahead and get into a comfortable position again if you aren't already, laying both of your feet flat on your ground or the ground on Mother Earth, or laying down. We'll just move through a brief channel light language session together as we take a deep inhale together to ground into our body and exhale out. Taking another deep inhale to integrate and to receive all the messages that resonated with you today and during today's vibe in this video. As you exhale out, and on your next deep inhale, I just want you to imagine roots coming from the base of your feet and connecting to Mother Earth. As always, grounding ourselves into our body. And as we exhale, we allow ourselves to receive this beautiful song. Hey, Go ahead and take a deep inhale and exhale out. Just moving your body however feels good for you. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes if they're not open already. Ooh, yay, that was fun. Thank you so much for joining me. All of you beautiful souls who chose to be here, I am truly grateful. And again, it's always so nice to connect with and see you beautiful souls all across the world. And this is just the beginning, and we are all going through new beginnings right now. And so really allow yourself to be gentle and graceful with yourself during this time, and knowing that we are all protected, we are all supported, and we're all loved. And I am sending you so much love, and I'm sending you all a big hug. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye, loves.